All right, everybody, welcome for a special 5th episode of the Novice Healing Artist podcast. And this one is dedicated to plant medicine. This one's called Plants Over Pills. And just got a little special something for you. This is the very first song and poem I ever wrote. Pretty much song. Here we go. There's so many remedies today, 5,000 years old from yesterday. Our ancestors still know what is best to relieve our disease up from our chest. Best thing about all these remedies, they come from the earth and hardly cost a thing. Have no fear of these big companies who want you to bow down to your knees. We're gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you wanna thrive and do you wanna heal? I'm gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you wanna thrive and do you wanna heal? Well, there's so many synthetic prescriptions doctors prescribe to win vacations. Where is humanity in medicine? Where is the future for our daughters and sons? What are the consequences for the neglect? If show me disrespect could lead to death. Why when you go natural they get upset? Well, they want control, but I'll never forget. I'm gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you wanna thrive and do you wanna heal? That's what we're about. We're gonna take the plants over the pills. Don't you wanna thrive and don't you wanna heal? Yes, I'm gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you wanna thrive and do you wanna heal? We're gonna take the plants over the pills. And do you wanna thrive? Yeah, cause I'm gonna grow my plants, I'm gonna eat my plants, I'm gonna steep my plants, I'm gonna drink my plants. We're gonna have such a good time today, guys. So every 5th podcast of the Novice Healing Artist, we are going to focus on plants, herbs, medicine, lifestyle, culture, everything, you name it. In the future, we'll have awesome people talking about it to us novice healing artists. So, yes, welcome to me. My name is Joaquin Roland, and you can find me at joaquinroland.com. A lot more of me. I'm working on a book, and I'm blogging it right now. It's called The Human Touch, and that is today's sponsor of this episode. And so we're going to get right into it. I'm going to give you a story. So that was a bit of a background right there for me. I am a musician. Healing artist, educator, teach classes, been paying my dues in this world for a long time. So, let me share a little story with you. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Jackie, and Jackie happened to be in Berkeley, California, and he picked up a free newspaper called the Berkeley Psychic Reader. And he found it to be extremely interesting. You know, he was impressionable, 19 years old, 20 years old, and he found the content within this newspaper extremely interesting. And this was back in about 1999. So Jackie found a article called The True Healer. And it was written by this lady named Candace Canton. And it inspired him so much because she brought it all together. Candace brought in practical living. She brought in Chinese medicine. She brought in Ayurveda. She brought in the Western pharmacopoeia. She brought it all in one article. And she basically said that the true healer has an understanding of all of this, and I was just so impressed by it. Well, okay, so I am Jackie. I'm really this can't be done in third person. That is my nickname. Joaquin is Jack, and family calls me Jackie, no doubt. Okay, so I then go and find out more about Candace, and she happens to be teaching a class, her program, at the Evergreen School of Herbology up in Sponsboro in Placerville, California, up in the mountains, the Foothill Mountains. And Went there. I was thoroughly inspired by the beautiful, lush gardens that were growing in the woods. It was completely ideal. At that time I went and visited, I had already made this decision to move to the valley, to San Joaquin Valley, to take care of my grandfather, to help him die with dignity. That was a request upon from himself and my grandmother at age 18 that I took to heart, and I followed through with it, and I kept my word, even though everybody else said, no, no, no. Keep your job. You have a great job. And I did. I had a great job. But no job was bigger and more important than taking care of my grandfather, who was the most important person to me in my life at that time. And so nothing could stop me from doing that. So long story short, I went through the first leg of Candace's program, which there was 2 of them, and I graduated. But I learned a lot. I learned about the energetics of plants. I learned that spicy, heating foods such as like chilies and peppers could loosen up phlegm. Could loosen up damp heat. Maybe not heat, but it could loosen up just like stagnation. That's the word I'm really trying to find here is stagnation. So I got to go there on the weekends and study with Candace. And it was phenomenal. And I would come back home during the rest of the week and take care of Grandpa. Well, one day, I have my Uncle Rolando come over. I'm like, hey, Uncle Ro, I need a break. I need to go get some food at the health food store. And I'm going to particularly get Grandpa some serrano chilies because that was his favorite food. One of his snacks, like he would have a parrot named Joey on his shoulder, and he named them all Joey. And for as many parrots that he had. And I said, he's got this congestion in his chest. I'm gonna like do something about it. We're gonna just experiment. And I told my uncle this, and he said, yeah, he'll go out with a bang. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, don't say that, man. Don't say that. Well, getting to it, I get the serrano chilies. I get home. I'm tired from my trip. I said, hey, Grandpa, I'm gonna take a little nap. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna take excellent care of you. And I said exactly that. So I go lay down, and I wake up to hearing my grandfather coughing, and I see that phlegm coming up, and I'm like, oh, this is the moment. I should give him that serrano. I went out of my way. I went to 3 stores to find. They didn't have them at the health food store, and so grabbed the chili, and I put it under his nose. I'm like, take a bite here. And he sees the chili, and he sees it, and he goes, hung. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, this is it. He took that bite. He didn't even keep chewing. He just chomped it. I ran down. I got my aunt who lived in the house next door. I was like, it's time, man. So we get up there, and I remember my aunt was on his right side holding his hand, and I was on his left side, and I put my left hand on his chest and my right hand on his head, and I was just holding space there for him until he took his last breath with a serrano chili in his mouth. It was amazing. Right after that, I had a huge smudge stick that was just this fat, huge, chunky smudge stick waiting for this moment. And I lit that sucker up, and I just embalmed the whole room, just full of sage. And it was just beautiful. And the people that came, they were like, what is going on here, But yeah, man, that was one heck of a story. It's been one heck of a ride since then, folks. That was in the year 2000. Here we are in 2024. I'm a lot older and wiser for it. And Yeah, I'm just thrilled to get the inspiration to be sharing this type of podcast with you for the novice healing artists. Whether you're a novice or not, everybody's welcome, of course. Here we're going to speak about everything energy medicine, lifestyle, healing. What isn't energy? Everything is energy. Everything under the sun topic, spirit, philosophy, culture, ways, you name it, we got it. In this episode and all of these episodes that I'm sharing, I'm not sharing medical advice, but I am suggesting. I am lending suggestion. I am trying to inspire. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make that clear. I got that in my notes here. I'm like, hey, why not? So today we're going to, why plants? Why plant medicine? Well, plant medicine speaks in energetics, okay? Energetics and plants go hand in hand. Like ginger, for example, most sattvic of all the herbs when it's fresh, but when it's dried, it is rajasic, right? So, and these terms that I'm saying, sattvic or rajasic, these are terms from India, from Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is an amazing system of health that has been around for thousands of years. I'd liken it to a schematic, where once you learn the pattern of the schematic, of the schema, that you can overlay it onto things. You could overlay it onto food. You could overlay it onto people, and you could start reading things and reading people's energies. I think it's a fabulous way to read energy and to read things. I don't think I need my headphones on now, so I'm going to take those off. And I wanted to share this book here, The Yoga of Herbs by Dr. David Frawley and Dr. Vasant Lad. These guys are amazing. This was the book that my teacher Candace had us read. This was like our little Bible for our herb class. This was the book. It's an amazing book. And in it goes right into it, the management of Pitta, Kapha, and Vata. So like if you're a Vata, that represents air element. That represents ether element. If you're a Pitta, it represents fire element. And then if you're Kapha, it represents like water and earth element. So it breaks down the 5 elements and in this whole podcast, the 5 elements in the human touch, the 5 elements play such a key role. The work that I teach, the work that I'm putting forth into the world that I have studied and learned and mastered, it stems from this philosophy of the science of life, Ayurveda, which I can't say enough about. So I highly recommend this book as a great starting point, because it was for me. All right, I'm gonna have a swig of my amazing pineapple juice for my throat, because I lost my voice last week. And my friend Tamra, who I love so much, who's an amazing singer, she was like, pineapple juice. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So always taking suggestions. We're always learning from each other, This whole journey is about being open-minded, right? One of my prayers every day is that I have an open mind, that I have an open heart, so that I could find the solutions that I need in my life for the problems that show up, right? It's not just like I have a problem that's always there. No, problems just spring upon us, right? Constructive adversity. This is what life's all about. So when we have knowledge, right, we can get through adversity constructively. So I want to give you some examples of plant energetics. And so I think I'm going to crack open the Yoga of Herbs real quick and just name a few. Like, here we go. Like lime. Its taste is sour and it's bitter and its energy is cooling. Okay. It's great. How about, I'm trying to think of things that you might think of. Okay, these are all cooling. Here we go, something heating. Let's go. Juniper berries, pungent, bitter, sweet, heating. Okay. Kelp. Here we go. Salty and sweet. It's heating. Lavender, something we all know and love. I mean, lavender, it's like an herbal pharmacy all in itself, okay? Lavender, pungent, cooling, okay? Lemon, sour and cooling. Hibiscus, astringent and sweet. Honey, sweet, pungent, astringent, and heating. How about hops? It's really good for the nerves. Bitter, pungent, and cooling. It's a nervine. It's a bitter tonic. That's the actions, right? So these energetics have actions as well. So I'll give you an example. Garlic. Its taste is all but sour. It is heating. It is pungent. It's a stimulant, carminative, expectorant, and alterative. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to give you one more. Dill, which I love. Dill weed. I love it. Pungent and bitter, cooling, and it's a carminative, alterative, and expectorant. Well, echinacea, one of the greatest medicines for a cold. Bitter, pungent, cooling, antibiotic, and diaphoretic. That is amazing. And this is what I'm talking about. When we're talking about plant medicine, we just think of things in jars and all that that people put in apothecaries and sell. It's not at all. It's your celery, okay? It's your onions. It's your garlic. It's the everyday stuff. It's spices. It's herbs. It's life. It's a lifestyle. Like, that's why I love India so much. That's why I love cultures that are a lot older than this culture here in the United States. This is a fledgling culture. This is a culture that's undefined. You can make your own culture here. But when you go to these places where they have an actual culture intact in place, you see them working with the plants of the area, the spices of the area, growing them, procuring them, cooking with them, like copiously, not even being shy about it whatsoever. And all I have to say is, like, the quality of your life with this knowledge will go up exponentially. It will go up so high. It'll help you to see life in a deeper way. I was washing dishes a few days ago, and I was thinking about the power of cedar and how it's been taking care of me during this serious cold I got. And I just had this feeling like we really need to have a relationship again with the plants, with the medicine, with, when I say plants and the medicine, what's going on these days, people are doing, some real far out stuff with plants and plant medicine, but I'm talking about everyday stuff. I'm talking about feet on the ground, not going for a grand slam or a six run grand slam, trying to go beyond the boundaries of the norm. I'm really just talking about the everyday stuff, what you can do for yourself right now. And I guess getting back to when I was washing dishes, I was like, it feels like Big Pharma wants us to forget our relationship with Mother Nature and all of her solutions that are natural and abundant and affordable, and have us be hooked on their medicine that is not affordable, not natural, and loaded with side effects in so many ways. It's loaded with side effects from the financial aspect, and it's loaded with side effects from the actual aspect. But when you take those pharmaceuticals and you reverse engineer them and break them down, they're all synthesized from plants. That's it. That's pretty much it. So the trick is, how do we take care of ourselves good enough to where if something serious happens in our life, we can nip it in the bud and mend it and heal and maybe get stronger, right? Not even maybe, get stronger, get better. So, so this episode is the first Plants Over Pills episode. We're going to be discussing Ayurveda. I shared with you the Yoga of Herbs. There's another book that I want to mention real quick. It's called Evolutionary Herbalism. And when I found it, I was like, wow, this guy really did it. He brought together Evolutionary Herbalism by Saja Popham. And it's forward by Matthew Wood. It's science, spirituality, and medicine from the heart of nature. And this guy did it. Like, he brought in Ayurveda, Chinese medicine. He brought in alchemy, which was a really cool one. He brought in astrology. He brought in a whole set of other healing modalities, spiritual modalities, esoteric modalities that all make sense. It all totally makes sense. So this is definitely an advanced book, but man, I highly recommend it. All right. So yeah, I just I want to give gratitude today to Candace Canton. Check her out at Evergreen School of Herbology. She's in Placerville. I think she's still teaching. And so if you get this, I love you. Always respected you. And I'm totally grateful for your work. 100 trillion%. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have found Bruce Berger, my mentor's book, Esoteric Anatomy, The Body as Consciousness. That's another great story to be told later. So, we just went over a few things. I'm going to keep it really simple here. I'm always going to keep the time of this podcast at a nice about a 25-minute clip. So I'm going to wrap it up right now and say that the sponsor for this episode of the Novice Healing Artist podcast is The Human Touch, the elements of energy medicine for the novice healing artist. And I just wish you so much thanks. I wish you lots of fresh pineapple juice, lots of yummy teas. Go have fun. How can you bring more plant medicine into your life, whether it's a salad in the morning with your breakfast food, which I do. I have my scrambled eggs with some greens. How can we walk it? Okay, walk this stuff into us. That's how I see everyday living. Everyday living is just like we're walking, we're talking, we're living, doing. How can you bring more of nature's intelligence, nature's wisdom into our bodies and benefit from it? Because that's just what happens. We benefit from it. So I wish you so much love, and may you become peaceful, happy, and free. Much love. Oh. There's so many remedies today, 5,000 years old from yesterday. Our ancestors still know what is best to relieve our disease up from our chest. Best thing about all these remedies, they come from the earth and hardly cost a thing. Have no fear of these big companies who want you to bow down to your knees. We're gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you want to thrive and do you want to heal? I'm gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you wanna thrive and do you wanna heal? Well, there's so many synthetic prescriptions doctors prescribe to win vacations. Where is humanity in medicine? Where is the future for our daughters and sons? What are the consequences for the neglect? If show me disrespect could lead to death. Why when you go natural they get upset? Well, they want control, but I'll never forget. I'm gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you wanna thrive and do you wanna heal? That's what we're about. Gonna take the plants over the pills. Don't you wanna thrive and don't you wanna heal? Yes, I'm gonna take the plants over the pills. Do you wanna thrive and do you wanna heal? We're gonna take the plants over the pills. And do you wanna thrive? Yeah, because I'm gonna grow my plants, I'm gonna eat my plants, I'm gonna steep my